For Build a Letter today, let's start with our dot paper, your tweezers if you want them. If it's too hard, don't worry about it. You can just use your fingers. I'm going to take my gems and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start moving my gems around the cue. While we do this, I want you to think about the round ball that the cue is, and then the line, okay? Think of cue like a round ball, and then we add the line. Now, let's talk about some things that start with cue. I'm going to quiz you on the objects that we've already talked about. What's the other word for the feather that we talk about that used to be a long, long time ago used like a pen? Do you remember what that was called? That's right, a quill. Quill. Okay, what's another word that starts with qu, or our cue? Do you remember what it's called when we say someone's talking on like a cartoon or a story? It's called quotes, right? And that was a quote bubble. Our quote bubble right here. It says, hi. That's your quote bubble. Okay, here's my last gem. You might have more. I'm going to start back at the top and make my line down. Okay, we also had something that was a coin. That means 25 cents. What's it called? Quarter. Good. Okay, so we did our uppercase. Let's go to our lowercase. Make our pearl. Remember, a pearl is just a little circle. What is something we put at the end of something when we ask somebody something? When we ask somebody a question, right? It's called a question mark. Question. Almost there. If I'm going too fast for you, take your time. Don't worry about catching up with me. Just go the exact speed that you need to go. We all learn at different times. What is something that is royalty? It's like a prince or princess's mom. Sometimes they're married to kings, sometimes they're not. They're called queens, right? Very good. Now this cue does not curl up at the end. If you want it to curl up at the end, go ahead and add your gems at the bottom and give it the fancy queen a little curl, just like that. Okay, now I have my dot stickers. Let's think of some other things that start with Q. Can you think of other things? We have something that you'll learn when you get older, when you go to school. A mini test is called a quiz. Can you say quiz? Or maybe if you're playing a game where you're guessing things, you can call it a quiz. If you have older brothers or sisters or cousins, they might say, oh, I really need to study for my quiz today. What is the opposite of slow? You can be slow like a sloth, but what is the opposite of that? The opposite of slow is fast, and another word for fast starts with Q. Quick. Yes. So the opposite of fast is quick. What's another word? Shh. What's that called? I have to be very quiet. Good. Quiet means shh. You don't want to make a lot of noise, right? Good. Where do you have to be quiet at? The library. You might have to go to other places that you have to be quiet, but you're supposed to be quiet at the library because people are reading at the library. So you don't want to disrupt their reading and studying. What is another word that starts with Q? What about quit? Do you know what it means to quit something? When you stop something, you might say, I quit. I quit something. That means you stop doing it. Do you know what a quest is? A quest is like you're on a mission. Okay, so first we made our pearl, right? And then we go up and back down. So I'm gonna go over these. Pretend I'm going back down and then stick it on the last two. And if you have extra stickers and you really wanna do that curl, you can do that curl too. But sometimes a Q looks like this and sometimes it curls up. Okay, now I have my dot marker out. Do you know what a quad is? A quad is a shorter word for a four-wheeler, but we call it a quad because it has 4 wheels, and quad means 4. One day you're going to learn when you get bigger something called a quadrilateral. That's a fancy, fancy word for a 4-sided shape. That's called a quadrilateral. Can you say that fancy word? Quadrilateral. That's a 4-sided shape. Okay, let's sing a song while we do our lowercase q. The Q makes the sound qua, 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 qua. The Q makes the sound qua, qua, qua. Then if you want to curl up, you can. Qua. Goes the Q. That was awesome. Okay, we're going to do Legos next. Go ahead and get your Legos out. Okay, when we make our Q, we're going to start at the top and we're going to take our big yellow. Remember, we have 3 different yellows. We want the biggest yellow. Which one's the biggest? That's right. We're going to put it right in the middle. Okay, then we need our little white one. And we're going to put it next to the yellow, but on the bottom side, not on the top, on the bottom. Okay, now we need our purple. And our purples are the same. We're going to use both, so it doesn't matter which purple you use. That goes next. And then our white one again. Okay, it's time to do our Legos. Here's a trick I want you to do. Before you get started, to help you line up your yellow piece, I want you to take one of your white pieces and put it in the second dot down all the way on the left. So not the top, the second. Then we're going to go back to starting at the top. I want you to take your 3 yellow blocks and I want you to find the biggest yellow block. Which one's the biggest? That's right. Here's your biggest. Put that right at the top. Okay, now you're going to get out your purple. There's 2 purples. We're going to use both, but they're exactly the same. And you're going to line that up with the side and put it right there. Then right underneath and in line with the side, I want you to put this white one right here. Good. Okay, then we're going to do our pinkish red right next to that and still partly under the purple. Then what color do we have? Orange. That's right. Then on the top right of the orange is another white, just like this one. And then what comes next? Our big purple. There we go. And then our little white at the top First we made our big ball. Now we need to add our line in the middle. So since we can't cut through the Legos, we're just gonna put a little line right at the bottom, just like that. And there's your cue.
You should be so proud of yourself for how hard you've worked today. We're so excited to say our favorite goodbye poem.
See you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
In an hour, sunflower.
Maybe 2, kangaroo.
Got to go, buffalo.
Better swish, jellyfish.
Chop, chop, lollipop.
Gotta run, skeleton.
Bye, bye, butterfly.
Better shake, rattlesnake.
Give a hug, ladybug.
Take care, polar bear.
Our time together now ends. Goodbye, good friends.